Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 379, and 379 and Doubleshot number 303. Okay. First up, it's Flash Volume 8, Zoom. Yeah, this is the first of the Flash Volume 4 trades I've actually reviewed. Why? Because the library hasn't got their hands on the other trades yet. This collects issues 41 to 47 of Flash Volume 4 and Flash Annual number 4. This is written by Robert Venditti and Ben Jensen. Now, some comic fans do know who Robert Venditti is thanks to books like X-Men of War, Wrath the Eternal Warrior, this book, Green Lantern, and of course Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. He's also going to be doing Eternal Warrior: The Awakening, which is coming out soon. Ben Jensen is his co-writer from Green Lantern Corps. Yeah, so he brought him over from Green Lantern Corps to help him with this book. I don't know why. Yeah, in case you probably noticed the artwork, yeah, that's Brent Booth. Yes, that's Brent Booth's artwork. And yes, it's all about Professor Zoom, aka the Reverse Flash. I should point out, though, he is never referred to as Reverse Flash the entire storyline. Yes, this 7-part story, including the annual, which kind of makes 8 parts, he is never referred to as Reverse Flash. Despite the fact when we look at him, yeah, he's the Reverse Flash. I should also point out, though, that Barry's costume he's wearing, yeah, that's his DCEU costume. Why is he wearing that and not, like, well, the costume he was wearing when New 52 first started? I have no idea why, because right after this storyline and the next storyline wraps up, he goes back to wearing that previous costume. Yep. I'm just responding to somebody on Skype. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, so the whole storyline, the plot thread of, well, Henry Allen being in jail for the death of his wife, which is caused by Zoom. Yep. Yeah. He's the one who caused it. And of course, you also get a chance to see a few familiar Flash villains pop up in here. Not any of the regular rogues, but familiar Flash villains. We have, first we have Double Down. Yes, that is Double Down. The only reason I know because, well, he pulls cards off his arm. So yeah, this guy here, this is Double Down. Yeah, he's one of the regular Flash rogues. Let's see, we have this guy here. That's Girder. Apparently this is Black Mold, and this is Mogul. I'm familiar with Girder. I'm not familiar with these two, but yeah, Girder and Double Down are regular Flash villains. Yeah, they're not known Flash villains, but they are Flash villains. Not like big name ones like Captain Cold or Mirror Master, stuff like that. Also, the Pied Piper shows up in here as well, though he's out of costume, and he's David Singh's boyfriend. Yeah, unlike in the TV show where, in the Flash TV show where David Singh is gay, except that Harley Ramsey is not his boyfriend. It's actually somebody completely different. So, even though, yes, the TV show, Flash TV show, does take elements from the New 52 comic book, they also take stuff from the classic stuff. And, yes, I know about the whole thing with Savitar, who he really is, and the fact that it's actually based upon something that happened that Brian Venditti came up with. Yep. Now, I should point out, though, when you read this, like, man, it's like, okay, now, Zoom is completely in character for how he's normally written, to being like somewhat insane. Like, he's a bit more out of control when Venditti writes him. Like, he's like, ha 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 ha. He's always laughing, or he's like, yay, Or he's bloodthirsty. Heck, he's even smiling when he kills Nora Allen. No, seriously, that is what he's doing. He's smiling when he's killing Barry's mother. Now, somebody thinking, wait a minute, if this is Eobard Thawne, what about the one that showed up for the button? That's the pre-Flashpoint version. This is the New 52 version. Yeah, this is the one that showed up post-Flashpoint. Now, in the case of... I don't know if this story is still canon or not, because, well, they did... Well, yeah, Zoom came back, and Eobard Thawne came back, and... Yeah, and he's wearing the classic Reverse Flash costume, so... It's questionable if this story is still canon, because, well, the Black Wally West does show up in this storyline, but he doesn't do very much. Yeah. That's one thing I should point out, though. Wally is a minor play in the story. Mainly, it is Flash versus Professor Zoom. And, of course, the end of the storyline, Henry Allen is released from prison, basically, because he revealed that, oh, yeah, Eobard Thawne killed his mother. Also, there's also set up in here for the last arc of Venditti's run. Excuse me, which involves Captain Sawyer, I think his name is. What's his name? It's not Singh. I don't remember his name. One thing also really weird though, Thawne, for some reason, even though normally whenever he's depicted when he takes off his mask, by the way, he takes off his mask a lot in this comic. He does it several times. My guess is Venditti must have got the idea for him doing that from the Flash TV show because, well, the actor who portrayed him was known for doing that a lot whenever he was in costume. Whenever he wasn't, like, shaking, having his whole body, like, move at super speed, where basically when he wasn't moving at super speed, he would take off his mask. He does it several times in this comic book. Yeah, and apparently he has white hair. Okay, that is not explained. And someone asks, okay, where is this guy? According to the storyline, he's still in jail. Yeah, it's a pretty good storyline nonetheless, and it's basically Eobard Thawne being in character. Despite the fact, yes, it's Venditti. I've heard some people were very cautious about when he took over the writing of this book from Francis Manipo and Brian Buccellato with issue 30 because of the way he treated Green Lantern. But I guess their worries were put set to the side when he did his first arc, which took up his first 11 issues of his run. No, seriously, it took up the first 11 issues. This is kind of like his second story because the first story arc took like 11 issues to tell. Despite the fact issue 35 was kind of like the conclusion of like chapter 1 of that story. Yeah, this is actually his, well, even though this is the third straight collecting issues of his run, it's the second official arc because, well, the end of the last arc set up this particular arc, and at the end of this arc, it sets up the last arc of Venditti's run. Which, by the way, his whole run was exactly 23 issues long. Yeah, almost exactly 2 years. So, not very bad period of time beyond on a book like this, but it's still interesting. I'm going to get this a 8.5 out of 10. Nothing against Venditti, but the only reason I take a half point because of all the cackling and the frequent removal of Thawne taking off his mask a lot in the comic. He does it a lot. He doesn't stay masked up for too long. Next up is Teen Titans Volume 4, When Titans Fall. Yeah, some of you may notice though, Scott Lobdell is on this book as a credit for writer. There's a reason for that. He does the annual in here. Yeah, this contains Teen Titans Volume 5. Yeah, Volume 5, issues 20 and 24, and Titans Annual number 2, and of course there's a preview of Teen Titans Rebirth. There's a few different stories in here. First up is I think it's a two-parter, I believe it is. Yeah, it's with Ian. Let's see, Ian Churchill does a few of the issues in here. He does issue 20. Let's see, I think he does 21 as well. Yeah, he does. He does a few of the issues. You know, there's a few different. Besides Ian Churchill, there's also Miguel Madonna and Corey Smith. Corey Smith does the annual. There's a two-parter involving The Brain and Monsieur Mala, two Doom Patrol villains, which I actually spoke to Tony Bedard about that two-parter. I actually really enjoy that two-parter, and it's nice the fact you have the Teen Titans fight a couple of Doom Patrol villains, which they have fought them in the past during the Marv Wolfman and George Perez run a few times. I think the last known official time prior to this story they ever fought them was actually during Volume 3. I believe when I think either Jeff Johns or J.T. Kroll was basically writing the Teen Titans book. Mm-hmm. There's also something to do with Amanda Waller and the Suicide Squad. The annual, by the way, when the annual came out, there was an editor's note on a particular page, which, by the way, this trade actually removed it. Yeah, I remember this very well. See, here's this 2-page splash. Originally, when this comic came out, there was an editor's note right over here that referenced the Ravengers. I don't know why that DC that whoever put this in trade, they actually removed the editor's note, which that's a bit head scratching. Oh, in case some of you are wondering, why does this is supposed to be Raven. Now, why does Raven look like that? That's because some idiot thought it'd be a good idea to look like a Power Rangers villain. No, seriously, she looks like a Power Rangers villain. And thank you, DC Rebirth, for getting rid of that stupid outfit. Yeah, this by far was stupid when she first showed up wearing this thing. I mean, come on. I'm glad the fact she actually doesn't have to wear that stupid thing on her face, which, by the way, she's a stunning woman. Why the heck would she wear that thing? I mean, what was wrong with her classic attire that George Perez designed for her? Also, I should point out that when this volume started, the first issue got criticized for Wonder Girl's costume. Yeah, the artist got criticized for apparently drawing her with big breasts, and some people thinking, oh, how in the world does her outfit stay on? Really? So, you criticized the cover for Cassandra San Mark's breast. That's your criticism. No, seriously, that was the criticism when that issue came out a little over 3 years ago. That came out. Yeah, the book was relaunched in 2014 after Forever Evil. I do not know why DC thought this was a good idea. Yeah, they relaunched this. Suicide Squad, they relaunched Nightwing as Grayson. Suicide was relaunched as New Suicide Squad. And Justice League America was relaunched Justice League United. Yeah, I had to point that out. But this one was the only one relaunched #1, where it went through a few different writers. Basically, the most prolific writer for the first 16 issues was Will Pfeiffer, who, for his second arc that he did, he had to bring in Scott Lobdell. I don't know why. Which, by the way, when Scott Lobdell came onto the book, despite the fact when Will Pfeiffer started this book, it was actually pretty good. Pretty good run. And then Convergence happened. Then once Convergence ended, for some reason, Scott Lobdell was listed as a co-writer for some strange reason. I'm sure that myself and several people were wondering, why the heck is Lobdell back in this book? I thought he left to go back to Red Hood and the Outlaws. That's what a lot of people thought. And then the book got really bad. No, seriously, it got worse than when Lobdell was writing. It was a lot worse. Like, pretty much you had 3 issues in a row where the book was spinning wheels. Pretty much having these two characters, Red Robin and Wonder Girl, repeating the same exact dialogue for 3 issues, and then having the issue that was briefly delayed for no explained reason. That was issue 12, by the way. Reveal, oh yeah, the whole thing was hallucination, and the storyline, in my honest opinion, was never officially concluded properly. Yeah, the storyline was rushed. No, seriously, the whole thing with Superboy was rushed. Then of course came the Who is Wonder Girl by Greg Pak, which was really good. This has nothing to do with Who is Wonder Girl. I think that was a 4-parter, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was a 3 or 4-parter. This is just Tony Bedard. He just does the last 5 issues. I'm actually quite surprised he wasn't. That they have him stay on as the writer, because these issues are actually pretty good. Because you actually get what you read. You want to read Teen Titans? This is the Teen Titans, and they fight villains. They fight well, besides Mashir Mala and the Brain, they also fight Queen Bee, Sister Blood. I don't know why they fight Sister Blood for. 24 is simply like an aftermath of the first arc of Detective Comics when Tim Drake died. Yeah, that's simply the whole point of it. While also setting up the next volume. Yeah, the ending of the issue sets up the annual. Yeah, it does. Seriously, it does. But yeah, so I think it's a two-parter, I believe it is, with Queen Bee. Oh, I should point out with Queen Bee what she looks like. This is Queen Bee. Yep, Queen Bee. Yep. And in case you are asking, is she a Teen Titans villain? Yes, she is. That's simply what she is. She is a Teen Titans villain. So we have a 3-part to start this off with, and then a 2-parter and a standalone issue for Tony Bedard's 5 issues he wrote for this. Now, I don't know why they had Ben Percy take over when the book was relaunched, Rebirth, but I kind of was hoping Tony Bedard would stay on board because basically Ben Percy. Nothing against the guy, but I didn't like what he did with Green Arrow, though he's doing fine with Green Arrow now. He's doing a lot better. I mean, if you want to see Green Arrow, fine, but doesn't he write the Teen Titans? Not necessarily. He has never written any of the characters before. I mean, seriously. I mean, look at this line. This lineup is actually pretty fine. You have Beast Boy, Red Robin, Wonder Girl, Bunker, Raven, and Power Girl. Beast Boy and Raven are the other ones still on the roster. Power Girl recently showed up in Deathstroke, and she's. I heard something she is going to go back to the Teen Titans right after the Lazarus crossover, which Lazarus Contra crossover, which starts, I believe, this week. Yeah, I believe this week is when it starts because, well, all the other books have already concluded their storylines. So yeah. But the obvious question is, now Tim Drake is, well, in jail, right? He's basically being imprisoned by Mr. Oz. Don't know much where he's off to now. But the next question is, what about Bunker Wonder Girl? Wonder Girl's last known appearance after the storyline wrapped up was a New Talent Showcase, a book that came out last year and it was $5. The line was actually pretty good, but that was the last time she was seen. As for Bunker, well, since this wrapped up, he has not been seen since then. And even though some people didn't like much of Scott Lobdell's Teen Titans run, they actually really enjoy Bunker. Bunker was actually a good character that Scott Lobdell did create. So, nothing against the annual itself is fine. Despite the fact it's a Scott Lobdell annual, it's fine. It's just fine. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. The Tony Bedard issues are awesome, and the Scott Lobdell annual was just okay. The Rebirth issue is just, even though it's a sneak preview, it's pretty much the whole Rebirth issue. Well, I can tell pretty much. Yeah, when Damien recruits Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Kid Flash. Hopefully I get a chance to review that first trade soon. Okay? 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 380 and Doubleshot number 304, where I have 2 more DC trades to review. One is a group book. The other one is a tie-in to a TV show that's based upon a DC character. You'll find out what it is in the very next episode, okay? But until then, I will see you there. Bye.